Decode the chatter, master the art of active listening for deeper connections. Hey everyone, let's talk about something we all crave, positive relationships. Whether it's making new friends, deepening existing bonds, or navigating tricky family dynamics, strong connections make life richer and brighter. But sometimes, building those bridges can feel like a mystery. Today, we'll crack the code. The craving for understanding. Deep down, everyone wants to be understood and accepted. Not just for their achievements, but for their thoughts, feelings, and even their weird quirks. But in the hustle and bustle of life, how often do we truly listen? But wait, you might still don't know what actually listening is. So let's take a deep dive into understanding listening. More correctly, it is active listening. Active listening, the superpower of connection. The secret weapon in your relationship arsenal is surprisingly simple: listening. Yes, that seemingly passive act is actually the cheapest and most effective tool for building connection. Listening is not just hearing words. It's active engagement. It's paying attention to body language, noticing subtle shifts in tone, and picking up on unspoken emotions. It's like cracking open a book and immersing yourself in someone else's story. Think of it like this. Most people are locked in a battle of internal arguments. Their minds are a whirlwind of anxieties, justifications, and counter-arguments. They talk not to connect, but to win their internal fight. Now friends, just take a pause and give some time to think about this line. They talk not to connect, but to win their internal fight. This line has a very deep meaning. What this actually means is people talk more and more just to win their internal fights, just to make themselves feel like what they are saying is correct. This, my friends, is the in-depth understanding of active listening. It is understanding what is inside other people's mind, understanding their thinking process, and then replying accordingly to get yourself involved in the process. By listening truly, you become a quiet warrior. You enter their battleground, not with weapons, but with empathy and attentiveness. You offer them a safe space to unpack their inner monologue, to hear themselves think, and to find clarity amidst the chaos. Now think about these 3 points very clearly and attentively. When someone feels heard, they tend to listen to themselves more carefully, reflecting on their own thoughts and emotions. They tend to become less defensive, opening up to other perspectives. They tend to transform into better problem solvers, approaching situations with clarity and logic. Remember, don't plan your response while talking. Most of us approach conversations like battlefields, armed with arguments and justifications preoccupied in our mind. People who view talking as a battle of arguments, it's the voices in their own head that are overwhelming them. When they're not talking, they're thinking about their arguments, and when they are talking, they're making their arguments. Often those on both sides of the table are doing the same thing, mostly unknowingly. It may look like there are only 2 people in a conversation, but really it's more like 4 people all talking at once. People are often just battling the voices in their own heads. They're overwhelmed, confused, and trying to make sense of their own emotions. Listening breaks that chaotic cycle. It brings calm, clarity, and understanding. Suddenly, it's no longer a 4-person brawl, but a harmonious duet, where empathy and connection take center stage. Let them speak. Their words might sound like arguments, but they're just trying to make sense of their own turmoil. Offer validation, not solutions. A simple, "I hear you," goes a long way. The rewards of understanding. By cracking the code of active listening, you don't just build relationships, you nurture them. You become a trusted confidant. You transform communication from a clash of egos into a beautiful dance of mutual understanding. This magic happens when you shift from passive listener to active participant. So, let's dive into the 4 crucial techniques that turn listening into a superpower. 1. Don't just listen, make it a conversation. Active listening isn't about waiting for your turn to talk. It's about leaning in, asking engaging questions, and using encouraging phrases like, and "tell me more." Show them you are on their emotional roller coaster. Show them that you are on the same page. The other person should feel like they should continue this conversation, and not feel like they are talking to a wall. 2. Mind access, unlocking the door to others' mind. When people talk and as the conversation proceeds, people develop a level of trust and safety with each other. Think of it like when you meet a stranger in a train. Initially you might feel uneasy or unsafe around them, but as soon as you start exchanging words, people develop a level of trust and bonding in just a short period of time. This, my friend, is the power of active listening. When a person feels that they are being listened and they are in safe hands, they just start to open in front of the other person, they just start talking freely with you, they might share a lot of information with you, and the level of sharing depends mainly on how you talk with the other person. Think of listening as the master key to someone's inner world. You get to peek inside, see their hopes, fears, and that secret stash of inside jokes they only share with their best friend. It's like co-writing a story, except way more fun because you're building trust and understanding with every word. 3. From emotional thunderstorm to whispering secrets, how listening calms the chaos within. You should first get these two things clear. When people speak calmly, clearly and correctly, they display a great deal of self-confidence, but on the contrary, when you speak anxiously, with low self-esteem, or if you hesitate while speaking, you display very low or even no self-confidence. Now, let's take a scenario. Imagine this: you are having a conversation, but it's not a gentle breeze, it's a hurricane. Words whip around like leaves in a tornado, fueled by anxieties, insecurities, and the desperate need to be heard. Your voice joins the storm, trying to be heard above the roaring wind. But here's the secret: the louder you get, the fiercer the storm becomes. Remember, it's a cycle of defensiveness, pushing both of you further into the emotional eye of the hurricane. Now, imagine a different approach. Instead of adding to the roar, you become the calm whisper in the storm's heart. You lean in, not to argue, but to hear the trembling beneath the thunder. You offer a gentle nod, a quiet, "Tell me more," a safe space for vulnerability to peek through the anger. And something magical happens. With each empathetic breath, the storm starts to lose its grip. The thunder softens, the lightning fades, and in the hush that follows, you hear the whispers of their true feelings. The anxieties you sensed before, now spoken aloud, their fears finding solace in your understanding. In that moment, you're not just having a conversation, you are building a bridge across the raging sea of emotions. You are a lighthouse guiding them toward calmer shores, where connection and understanding can finally bloom. Remember, sometimes, the most powerful words are the ones you don't say. By actively listening with your heart, you become the storm tamer, the whisperer of truth, and the builder of connections that weather any emotional cyclone. In this way, in any chaos during your conversations, you can just listen actively and proceed for a better calm conversation. 4. The power of the pause, why silence is golden. Don't underestimate the power of letting the other person have the microphone. Silence isn't awkward, it's an opportunity. It gives them space to breathe, think, and even reach their own awesome conclusions. Remember, sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing at all. Pause gives the other person time to think about what they said. When you take a pause, their mind starts to create explanations for their own statements and they might start to erupt loads of information. But remember, active listening constitutes both pauses and replies. The timing of both of these is very important, but if you practice this art regularly, you will definitely get good at it. That's all I had to tell you. So, ditch the battle plans and grab your listening ears. Open your heart, clear your mind, and watch those connections blossom. Trust me, the rewards of understanding and acceptance are way more satisfying than any argument you could ever win. Remember, the goal is to make the conversation feel like a friendly chat. Have fun with it, be yourself, and let your passion for connection shine through. I hope this helps you build stronger relationships. Thanks, enjoy. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.